then we'll get started in a moment.
All right.
One second.
All right. What do you want, OP? Oh God, that sounds ratchet. That sounds so ratchet, yo. I'm so happy you warned us about that. Perfect. Oh, that sounds like the life. I could respect that, but only a little bit, just a smidge. I think that's all anyone can ask, really. Oh, that. Oh, thank. Oh, that's good. That's excellent. Yeah, yeah. It should be here any moment
But
now.
yeah, I'm excited.
I got me a big old.
I'm very excited to go on.
Got a big old glass of water right here, so I should be
ACPR
good.
content. Did you invoice your volume check? Oh shit.
Oh, I'm an orange juice fiend myself. Oh God.
Up live, but sure. Why not? One moment.
Oh, yo, Kenshin in the Twitch chat says they can't hear you, Tarkus.
Wait, are you live?
Oh, that's smart. That's actually real smart.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I just finished a successful Paper Mario stream in which nothing bad happened. No strategery went bad, nothing went south, nothing went north. West and east, maybe. Alright.
Excellent, excellent, nice.
Alright, sick. Alright, hold on.
Famous Platform Gamer 5T.
Right,
That's a strong title right there. 5T, that's not like I hear you usually. I mean, you're usually T5 or T or like other handles, but I never heard 5T before. Or at least
5T.
very
5T is new to me as well. Alrighty. Cool. I think I've got all of my stuff ready. So I'm gonna give it just a second, so we're a little closer to the time. That way people can filter
Leapfrog.
in. Hey, how's it going, Leapfrog?
Dog?
Leapfrog, isn't it like goblin hours for you?
Oh, come on! Like this is like we're like the millennial generation. Goblin hour, like staying up to Goblin hours, is just like common practice.
Yeah, like it's Goblin hours nowadays, like 4 or 5 a.m. It used to be like 1 or 2.
Yeah.
At this point, I think that V guy has just completely inverted his sleep schedule. There's no way that man's
That guy doesn't. Yeah, he's.
Yeah, like he's living on like Americans like sleep schedule, but in Europe, which is so like that's crazy.
Yeah, he's on West Coast time, living in Paris.
Oh damn.
That's got him. I don't know what's going on to allow that.
Oh, couldn't be me, but like, oh man, I mean, then again, my sleep schedule is so messed up now since like I work every day. Like I have to wake up at like 5 a.m. in the morning, so like I'm getting old man sleep scheduled really early on in my life. Sometimes I wake up, it's like Sunday morning, and like at 7 a.m. I have to stare at the ceiling, saying, "Damn, this is me." This is me.
You realize it. It hits you. Oh man. Yeah,
I
Evan.
only get 8 hours sleep by accident. I usually plan for like 7 hours, and then if I get 8 hours of sleep, it's because I passed out and woke up 8 hours later. That's how it goes.
Yeah, I usually end up 7 or 8 is my ideal, but sometimes I end up going maybe like 6 or 5, which is not great considering I do like a decent amount of manual work.
Oh. Yeah, so I wake up off of the pure anxiety of thinking about work now, and so the alarm's gonna go off in like 10 minutes. I'm not that far ahead, but I'm just thinking to myself, I don't want to go to work.
Oh, I know that feeling, especially since like my body is so accustomed to my alarm. I could like wake up like almost like 10 minutes like right before it. It's like my body just like no.
There's like some deep like carnal fear of fucking up due to sleep schedule.
Capitalism rots your brain and your body.
Leapfrog is seeing by I don't want to go to work tweets.
Oh man, we're getting real deep. We're getting really deep, and we haven't even started.
Yeah, just the sleep schedule is immediately relatable.
Yeah.
It hit Evan real hard when he moved to Osaka for teaching, because he said, I finally got bested, and I can't stay up till 2 a.m. every day. Because those Japanese schools start early.
Oh yeah, I hear.
That's tough.
I guess I remember back in like the 2018 XR Discord time, he was like the sponsor for Monster Energy and Goblin Hour games, and now he's got that old man schedule. I'm going to real quick close the door so my dog doesn't run in and start putting tennis balls in my lap, and then I will be ready to go.
Well, let me check on like the dog out dog today. My little brother is like staying. It's like at like Vegas right now, so I'm like I gotta take care of his dog for like a couple of days. He's being well behaved right now. He's just chilling on the bed. What up, Obi? Don't make any noise. I'm on a podcast. You know what a podcast is, right? He doesn't.
Me when I don't want to go to work. No, if you're really lucky, you'll hear the regular occurrence around here, which is my neighbor's dog. But at 7 p.m., so I don't think they're gonna.
Yeah, I mean, if people follow me on Twitter, they know like every morning I post like some random ass image on my phone saying, "Yo, time for the hustle." But ironically,
Yeah,
All
I
right.
don't.
it's it's a part of my ritual. Maybe it's something to help me keep sane. I don't know
I feel
yet.
like it's implicitly implied by how I act on stream and how I carry myself that when I get home from work, I'm like, oh, I'm done. I don't really want to go. I'll even work like as many hours as I want, and it's still exhausting. I hate that. I hate it. Where it's like, I'm not. Like what? Doesn't make any sense.
All right, guys. I'm back, and I've sealed myself in the chamber of no dogs allowed. And so I figured with that, I'll go ahead and get us started with some introductions for the 7 people we've got in here, including Badomidu. Thank you for following. Yeah, let's say welcome to the first ACPR player chat. And with me today, I have 2 people who I've been really excited to talk about. So we've got the content and the content. I wanted to say creator, but that's being a little generous. So we'll call him content goblin, MF Beautiful, and T5SD. Thank you, guys.
There we go. Heyo.
Hi, I'm
Yeah.
T5. I play Cliff. That's why this image is here. It's made for Hano, actually, but it works for me too.
Yeah, that is a really good Cliff sprite. Holy shit! Look at that.
It's really versatile. Yeah.
You can just do so much at that frame.
The Venom sprite. It's like really it works, but it's like kind of awkward because you're putting like both your legs on the chair. By the way, I am the host with the most MF Beautiful.
What is that Venom frame from?
That's like his crouching, getting back up animation.
I thought that was almost like 2S or like 2H.
I had to Photoshop the pool cue off of his chest, but I was in a rush, and I left a streak on him.
Oh, I think I see it.
Oh,
Yeah.
don't worry about it.
Yeah, I was like not paying attention to the greater the greater context, and I was just putting down skin color as fast as I could go, and then it didn't matter. So for those who aren't up to speed on this funny story, Hono was going to be the original guest for the first episode of this little show, and Hono joined our voice chat, went on mute, and then stayed there completely muted for 3 days.
I just imagined him doing like the Sigma stare in like voice chat.
Yeah. So
like the
I'm
audio
gonna
version
see-
of that.
I need to see if I can find it as fast as possible. What was it? Nodi in the Discord channel had created an image, and people were spamming it around the clock of Hono in the voice chat. Let me see if I can find it real quick. And while I do, I'm gonna also say, what was going on with that cursed Paper Mario you had, T5?
Oh, that was a ROM hack that makes it like more difficult but adds new content. You were kind of seeing, right? I was playing the easy version of it, by the way. That was the easy
I was just thinking to myself, man, my man's Mario 64 looks fucked up.
Yeah, like this is way harder.
Oh
than-
yeah, no. N64 ROM hacks have like evolved like Leapfrog like crazy.
Yeah, there's like a
Crazy.
Smash 64 hack that has at least like
Yeah.
8 new characters.
Yeah, oh,
And
that-
like 40 stages. It's insane.
it's unironically my favorite Smash game now. Smash Remix, check it out if you're.
Oh,
into,
they added like
Smash.
Wario and stuff, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, there's Wario. The newest one is Sonic.
I
Yeah.
found the image. If you can see the stream, people were making things like this each day that one stayed in.
Oh God, God! As a big Devil May Cry fan, that fucking Virgil face kills me every time. That's such like the perfect render.
It's so fucking good, and like it's
pre-
versatile.
Yeah, it's like Sigma. That's like the Sigma stare before like we codified it.
Yeah, that's what Holdo was. Like Joyan's voice chat goes on mute, stays there for 72 hours, leaves.
He is the storm that is approaching.
Yeah, he was just hanging out. I don't know. Like he was watching us stream. That was because we dumped 1.01 Cliff.
Yeah, we did.
That's something that we should probably talk about on this because that was a fucking huge discovery.
Yeah, though before we get to the 1.0 Cliff, I did actually want to ask about something a bit more recent. So yesterday, I think it was, unless I'm like accelerating through time, there was the WASD or WASDA, however you pronounce it, Roman Rumble number 25. And for those who weren't there, T5 was on commentary and MF Viewable was in the MF top 8.
Yeah, oh, I was?
Yeah,
you
it's
did,
7th place. Down there with Microwave.
I still found it surreal because that was like the first like real tournament I entered in over a year.
Oh,
Straight
wow.
up.
Yeah, that sounds about true. I had seen you like play long sets with people, but I hadn't seen like an actual tournament placement in ages.
Yeah. I did like that very first beginner tournament in the Plus R Discord. It like that had like over 100 plus
Oh,
people. Or
yeah,
something
that
insane
big one.
like that. Well, the initial one. That was like one of the largest like Plus R like tournaments in like ever.
Yeah.
It was actually insane. And then like the only other tournament between then and now was like some intermediate bracket where like I busted out 1-2 there.
1-2's a relatable life. I
Yeah.
got filtered by Cliff by accident. I felt kind of bad for myself. You ever like mess up your Okizeme, you get chopped, and then suddenly 60% of your life is gone because the guy had meter?
Yeah, I mean, I fought Hano in the mirror back when I was learning the game, and that was part of how it went. Or like he would hit me with JH, and then he would convert, and I would die, and I'd be like, "Well, damn."
Cliff with meter is a nuclear level threat. It is scary to get hit by him.
Yeah, like the minute he has like 50 meter, any hit is like, oh, it's either going to take you all the way to the corner and do a huge chunk because of reflex roar, or if he's got 100 meter, it's like you might just die off a throw.
Yeah, the throw's a funny one. I didn't remember like throw being very menacing when I started the game, and there were like 2 people playing online. But now I go online, it's like, where the fuck have these Cliff players been training? What juice did they drink? I'm dying off of everything.
Yeah, throw into FRC chop, and then if you have like a good corner combo for another 25 meter, you could do that. Because everybody goes, oh, they say stuff like, oh, the IK, and that works. But even if they have like a really good mash, you can just do a really good like 50-meter stun punish as Cliff against a cornered opponent, and if they're not at like full health, they're probably dead.
Oh man, that is something I had written on my notes, and I was gonna use this to segue. There's a perception going on right now with Plus R. I've seen it in a lot of Strive chats. I've seen it in a lot of like general Discord that the people playing Plus R have gotten too good to play with if you aren't already good at Plus R. And that's where the force break chop into stun comes along. When you go online and you hit somebody with that, how do you think they feel about their chances of getting into this game?
Oh baby. So I often when I'm on quick match, I look for people that I actually know. Yeah. Generally, I don't play with strangers unless they challenge me. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times, I do actually check their rank before I like challenge anybody, because like I really don't want to like see somebody that's just starting out with the game. I don't want to give them that experience because like if they're not asking for it, I don't feel like it would help at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I actually been starting to do that a lot, where I just check how many games they have played to like vet them out, to say, okay, they could like play the game, they sort of understand the language of Plus R, at least at like a cursory level, so can have more literate interactions.
Yeah, because I feel like some of us in like the ingrained FGC kind of have like a little bit of a masochism going on. We get hit or shit on by some really strong player, and we say, damn, I want to do that to somebody else.
Right. And it's a feeling you kind of get over time because you get used to it and you have an appreciation for how the game works. But if you're just learning it, you don't know half like the systems or how they work. Like if you ask somebody just starting out what they would think of the Testament matchup in neutral, right? They're going to say it's fucking annoying. But somebody like me is going to be like, well, you can jump IB so many things and it changes how you go here or there or whatever. And it's like, well, they wouldn't know that because they just started. It's really weird. And it also depends on what character they play. Some characters teach that stuff early. Other characters, you might not even consider defense until a lot later. No offense to Milia players, but like hairpin at a low level can like sort of dominate neutral as a conversation.
Yeah, right? I mean, like,
what do you mean at a low level? I'm still getting filtered by it.
Well, yes, but like, it's weird, right? Because you just learn different things about the game with different characters at a different rate.
I mean,
like with Cliff, I did not learn how to do good IB and good blocking for a long time because dodge got me out of so many situations, and now it still does, but it's usually because I IB'd something and I dodged after.
I mean, if we talking about like lower level starting out in Plus R, I mean, we gotta talk about Justice, right? Justice is like the ultimate like gatekeeper.
That's the filter character for sure.
Yeah. Well, we're not going to say that's the one because there's a strong argument for Cliff, but
I think Cliff has the most gimmicks. I think it is a toss up between the two of them. I think though that like as far as like I have a lot of opinions on Justice. I don't even hate the character, but I do think we'll get there if we get there. I'm gonna get there in that I don't want to derail this conversation.
Yeah. If we get there, we get there.
Knowledge checking characters though, like Cliff is 100% like super big about that.
I was gonna say our friend Holdo, who stayed AFK in chat for 72 hours, he was one of the first people I played with. Him and Quash, I think, and playing delay netcode against Cliff. It was a nightmare. I wouldn't even know why I got hit by Nape Saddle because I could have sworn I moved the stick.
Yeah. Fuck, 5D is already unblockable on rollback. I can't even imagine what it is on. You'll react to it somehow. And no.
I mean, I wouldn't call myself a good player like way back when like PSN AC was a thing, but I used to play with a friend, like a close friend of mine within the same town, and even on like in that distance, that netcode was ass, straight ass.
Vanilla AC?
Yeah, vanilla AC on PSN.
Oh my god,
That port.
not only were you playing AC, you did that.
Yeah, we were both on Wi-Fi, by the way, too.
Oh
Oh
my
yeah, let's
god.
go. That was yeah, because there's a time, the Wild West of fighting games, where people just assumed online that this is how it is going to be. We don't even know what rollback is. Fuck it,
I mean,
Wi-Fi. Who cares?
I grew up playing a lot of TVC online, and well, that thing has the Nintendo Wi-Fi connection logo on it, so you know what that means.
Yo, yes.
Oh man, in chat we've got Pocho talking about the PlayStation XR, and that is a fate I wouldn't wish onto somebody.
I mean, if you want to talk about forged by NetPlay fires, I mean, Stormlock used to play on
Yeah.
Xbox
Yes.
Reload.
Yeah, reload. He said he started using the install super because it was the only way to make it feel like the game was responsive in the amount of delay that game had.
Oh my god.
That's such like I mean, our environment's forged us in some way. Well, look at that.
Yeah,
Oh.
you have to be willing to go through hardship to play Xbox delayed netcode reload.
That's rough. Because like even delay based on like responsive games, it's hard. Because like PS4 XR is rough, but I always think like PC XR might even be harder. Not even because of the input lag, but because like that port is decaying.
Oh yeah, it doesn't work half the time.
Every Windows update, it gets worse.
Yeah. Shouts to Pat the Flip and all the other crews. Like we're holding it down for Exard right now. Like those are heroes right there.
Yeah, they're in some dark times. I want to say it was Panda Bedic, who was dedicated to PlayStation 3 XR for a long time.
Oh, pain! That's pain.
I think that PlayStation 3 players couldn't pick specific stages or like have the other person pick that stage because it would lag out and overheat the PlayStation.
I think Jacko in particular challenged like a lot of PlayStation 3s.
Yeah.
Rough.
They say that setting your house on fire improves your Faust RNG.
Maybe. I would believe it.
Welcome. Nah, that's a hard one to spell.
RNG, huh? What a summon.
Yeah, Nafradorf is really hard for me to read for some reason.
It's like Ganondorf, but you know Naf.
Yeah. Oh man. So a moment ago, before we got mad talking about how cheap Cliff and Justice are, I wanted to ask. So now that you've come back to the competitive scene, Beautiful, what do you think is I guess your evaluation of your play? Are you happy with how you're doing now that you did top 8 yesterday, and with your general net play performance?
Like, it's still kind of surreal. Like, I still can't believe I made it that far. Like, I joined that tournament like sort of last minute because a bunch of server mates of mine joined, and I was like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm going to Zender and just see how far I go. I was just hoping to go, 2-2, be satisfied with it. Didn't expect to be on type at 8, fighting, FGC Stone and Mole right there.
Oh, yeah.
My homie T5 commentating that. Crazy.
Yeah. T5, was that your first time commentating I wanted to say a tournament that isn't ACPR's main Discord?
No, because I do Boston Blue Beat as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was my prior experience. Yeah, that's how Swell, they actually recommended me through that because we had done that together.
Okay, so are you trying to make this a regular thing? Are you going to be our Majas of Plus R now that he's moved on to greener pastures?
Probably, because I'm doing Boston Blue Beat again. That's tomorrow, actually. I'm doing that one tomorrow.
Okay.
And WASD Gaming has asked me to continue to come back for future events. So
nice.
I'm going to be doing that.
I should register for Boston Blue.
Which sucks because, well, it doesn't suck. I mean, I love the opportunity, but it's like, I keep saying that, like, this perpetual joke of me being, like, one of the best cliffs to practice against and really good cliff, and it's like, my tournament attendance is like, I've done 4. And it's like, well, damn. It's like one of those things.
It happens. I mean, there's a lot of, like, hidden bosses in Plus R.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
like Splash
Tons of it.
Gordon. There's
I
tons. You
mean,
can
I
find
mean,
tons of them.
oh yeah, I mean, Tales of Jade has not entered a tournament in years, and we
Yeah,
all know they're a
yeah, that
legend.
is still probably like the best toss in America. One of them
Yeah,
at least.
yeah.
Man, I ran into a secret arcade boss a couple weeks ago. I went to just go shitpost in Third Strike because they were having a round robin, and I've never played before, but I was gonna bash the fuck out of some Chun-Li heavy punch.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And so I go, and some dude's playing Accent Core, not Plus R, AC, on a laptop in the back, and I'm like, hell yeah, I'm getting in on this. And it was X Phantom, who's like one of the strongest Order Souls I've ever seen.
Oh, that dude's a legend. That dude is a god.
Yeah, because normally, whenever random people show up and are playing AC, they're like people who haven't really learned AC. They thought it was Plus R and got the wrong version enabled. But this dude was slash backing me, and I was like, hold up, who are you?
Oh yeah, no one slash backs like Phantom. No one. Like
I think the only person that I've seen slashback a lot besides Phantom is somebody my Potemkin matchup practice, and basically why I don't lose much to Potemkin outside of him. It's Harlock. You might know who that is.
Oh yeah, Harlock.
Yeah.
He also does not enter many tournaments, but is like unarguably one of the best.
Yeah, we're brushing over Mole, the champion of WASD yesterday.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
Everybody's talked about that. No offense, Mole's. It's funny that I linked him that bracket, and I was like, "Hey, man, I don't know if you really want to like play in tournament today because I don't know like what you did."
Mm-hmm.
But I said you should. They're looking for entrance. Alvin's in it, and then Mole was like, "Oh, you know what? I'll do it." And then he DMs me after the tournament, like, you're kind of responsible for that. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm happy. That's great because you've wanted to win a tournament like this for God since he started.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's been doing WNF and. Back when Jason Wright was active, usually that was the one thing stopping him.
Mm-hmm. Man, with Mole, I remember like coming back from my break because I missed the start of rollback due to school, and so I came back and I'm like, where did this guy come from? Why is he killing me so easily if he's never been around? Because I was used to only playing with like Quash, Hono, / Gordon, the old Californian boomers, and so some new person out of nowhere who was on their level already.
Yeah, like it's incredible how fast a lot of players. I think I mentioned it. I tweeted about it like a week ago. Like I'm super impressed. Like the level of average plus R play has completely elevated. Even since when I started, like I can run into somebody random, and they'll play better than they did when I ran into somebody random when I started.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for sure. No, the funny thing is, like, way back when, like, the rollback beta was started, I sent a tweet saying, like, Plus R is for boomers, Skullgirls is for Zoomers, but now we have Zoomers winning tournaments now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's funny. Like I say, the Plus R player base is like, I would say 50% of the ones that I see active are people that are in high school. 25%. Or like maybe 10% are people like around my age, like 26, early to mid 30s, maybe. And then like the rest are people that you would like find at a golf club. Like they're they're getting up there.
We have high schoolers, and then like we have Elvin Chow actually raising children.
Okay, no, FGC Stone is literally like 38.
Really?
He said this on
No way.
No way. He does not fucking look 38, does he? He looks like he's like maybe 32. That dude is nearly 40, and he's like telling me this on stream, and I'm like, what?
Oh god.
He's like, I'm getting old like Cliff, and I'm like, bro, you look like you're like 28.
Yeah.
He's like, oh yeah, no, I'm like 38. And I'm like,
that's insane.
I had that moment. I met some guy. We played a lot of like Final Fantasy together back in the day, and like we by sheer dumb fucking luck ended up working at the same company, and so we met in person, and he's like, yeah, I'm 37, and I'm like, no fucking way.
whoa.
Where does like the 10-year age gap come from when we were like playing Final Fantasy online?
Fucking wild, right?
Yeah, we got some grandpas walking amongst us, like.
Yeah.
And they're keeping up too, because something else I've noticed is that for all like the new players that have gotten good, like the players that were previously good have had to make a lot of changes.
Mm-hmm.
Like Elvin Shadow is playing better than he was back when he was winning all those tournaments. Like he has not gotten worse; he has gotten better at the game.
Yeah.
So it's kind of resulted in this weird thing where, and I can see it when I play with Kesuke and a lot of the other Japanese players. They're really, really enthusiastic about how many new people are playing the game and getting really good at it.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like that.
Yeah.
I fuck with that vibe heavy.
Yeah. I was really happy when Teresa like started like announcing, "Hey, I'm getting back into Plus Arm. Want to put on events." Like that brought like like some fire in my heart because like just seeing all these like old Japanese players I used to watch back in day come back to the game like that I really loved. Like that's moving. That's really moving.
It's powerful.
Yeah, I talked to Kesuke this morning, and I was shocked to find out that we got a secret demon amongst us. Fino is playing at the Sportsland arcade again. He doesn't go online for whatever reason, but the man is playing again.
There's a few I would love to see. I would love to see Somna if I pronounced it out right. They were like one of the best like JP Order Souls, and they also went on to become one of the best Exer Venoms too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I would love to see him back. And you got any like personal like favorites you would from back in the day you want to see come back?
Oh, well, I kind of got my wish come true whenever Satu was online. Not the most recent, but the second most recent event. But what about you, T5?
All right. And I don't know, I haven't seen them around, and I might be mistaken, but I'd really like to see Ein.
Okay.
Ein. I'm the classic Kai player. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I'm because a lot of my cursory knowledge of AC and even like pre-plus stuff is like I would always look up VODs, and every time I would find Ein doing like exhibitions with all sorts of characters. And I'm like, they play Kai really well.
Oh yeah, like they are like very much like pinnacle like clean Kai play. Like they played from like, I mean you could see from all the Guilty Gear games.
Because I'm a new player, so like a lot of my knowledge is very, very recent. So like a lot of it is like, oh, I found this VOD, and I also want to see Bob, but I think Bob, either he might play still, but he's very much a hermit.
Yeah. There's this one really great like soul player, KTSK. I can't pronounce like the actual name, but
KTSK.
Yeah,
I'm not familiar with that one.
I may be messing up like the abbreviation they use, but like it's they're one of the cleanest souls I have ever seen.
Yeah, because nowadays we've got Ohiro and Yuki.
Yeah, Ohiro and Yuki.
There's probably more. There's definitely more. Listen, I am not the most knowledgeable about Japanese players.
Oh yeah. Like
a lot of them keep to themselves.
Yeah, like I mean, back in the day, that's where the killers are at, especially for Vanilla AC. They played that game for like almost 7 years, so it was refined to an art basically over there.
I really like whenever there's a US versus Japan event going on in like the main court, and America's feeling themselves, for lack of a better phrase, because they're like, oh yeah, we've gotten so much better, I'm gassed up, and then like some people, like Japanese players, will come out of the woodworks that people haven't seen in a decade and just dab on them somehow.
I mean, Mikado is like the hyperbolic time chamber of multiplayer. That's been known like ever since people been competing in that game.
Stone keeps telling me to enter one of the NA plus JP brackets because he says that I would do that, and I'm like, I don't know. Like I feel pretty good about my play, but he's like, no, man, you would totally do super good. So I'm like, okay. So I've decided I am committing to entering the next one if I can. I don't know when it is, but I do want to do it.
That means we're going to have to pull some shady backroom deals, and we're going to need to get Jake to enter the bracket, and we'll see what happens.
That sounds
Jake is so funny. Oh my god!
I played him a few times. Like it feels like a clown fiesta, but in the best possible way.
He's gotten hella better, but like the Jake thing, and if he sees this VOD, he'll understand. It's like he does like normal cliff stuff, and then he hits you with this random move that you're like, I don't even think he was trying to place that, and then he completely flawlessly converts. He'll do some shit like, I don't know, like some random jump H angle or like a really stupid jump dust or a gold burst, of course, and he'll fucking he'll pull a combo out of his ass, so to speak.
Yeah, Captain Speaking is mentioning the Hyakuretsu setup, and so I'm gonna try to get that on screen in just a second here. I think it's my memory. This has been floating around for a long time, but people said it was pretty much TAS only. And Hono's tried it and gotten like 2 reps. So I want people to appreciate just how wild this is as I figure out how to add the window.
I'm excited. You know, it means that Jake will eventually be the Millia, like the Eno tier execution cliff. And I'm excited because like there's some shit you can do with cliff FRCs that like.
Oh god, Oreo with the Asian gay like gift. Let's go.
Here we are.
Oh yeah,
so
here it is. Yeah,
we've got it pulled up.
Dun dun dun.
Jake has a soul, and he also has like the. I don't know.
I feel like he probably has a bunch of like pockets. You could tell this man like just lives and breathes like Guilty Gear.
He really likes the funny bits of the game.
Yeah.
Oh, was that Dragon Install second?
Yeah, it's DI second.
Oh my god, the health drain. This move is so garbage. It is so garbage. But look at this.
He's hitting Pot, but he's taking damage faster than Pot is.
Yeah, this is so inefficient. So inefficient, but it's so good.
He got a lot more reps than I think I could ever hope to get.
Yeah, like I can't. I mean, I play on pad, so like already, like I could just imagine my hands just like contorting, ugly, unnatural.
On pad, I can't.
I'm taking a look at my DS4 that I used for this game. And it's just like I'm trying to like sort of like think of it in abstract, and like I just can't envision it.
Yeah, there's I feel like if you were using a normal arcade stick, you'd give yourself friction burn after about 10 minutes of practice.
Right.
And he's probably playing on like a classic arcade stick. I mean, I can't imagine like Hitbox has taken off over there.
He's probably got the Kadako glove. That's it. Kadako would always show up to events with like a digital artist glove to give him less friction as he moved his stick.
Oh, that reminds me. Like back in the day in Marvel 2 days, the Yaids would have like a glove specifically on one hand to help him mash out supers in that game, because supers did like a lot more damage if you were able to mash them out. So he would just go ham on like the stick, and the glove would help him out.
That's amazing. If we're sharing clips though, you mentioned like messing with people with Cliff online. I'll DM you this.
Okay.
Here you go.
Oh,
so I gave Jace a set because a long time ago, this is like a week or 2 ago, but before that, Jace had challenged me and I had to say no because I was in the middle of something else. And I was like, I'm really sorry. So like a couple weeks ago, I played with him.
Yeah.
And it was a pretty good set.
Let's see this. We got Jagged Roger, I think that is.
Yeah, that's FB Jagged. I think it might be the first break one. I don't know. No, I think it's just regular Jagged Roger. Look at this round.
All right, that's a quarter health. Oh dear Lord! Where did he go?
Oh yeah, I see.
What makes me sad is that I did drop the combo. I did drop that, so I technically could have killed off that.
Yeah, that probably could have been death.
Yeah,
and I'm just like, after that set, I really reevaluated this matchup, and I was like, you know, this is actually the dumbest thing ever, because this should be a matchup that Cliff either has a slight advantage in at best, or like, even. But it's like, there is no risk to swinging really recklessly, because this character will never stun me. I've not been stunned by, I think, what did I say to Hano? I haven't been stunned by Bridget since early 2021? Yeah.
Oh yeah, like
that was the last time Bridget ever stunned me.
Yeah, like as an Orso player, like you are. Yeah.
He's made some other really good images. Where's the other one?
Yeah, that's classic.
If you look at his media history, you'll see one with the Cliff sweep. That's really good.
Sweep.
The Bridget matchup as Orso is.
Crap! I lost it. I'm stupid. So we go to his tweets, media. You said there's gonna be a Cliff sweep.
Yeah, there's like a really good.
He's got Robin. All right. Where's this sweep at?
I think it's like a. He DM'd it to me.
Yeah, it's like a little star, like a pinwheel looking thing.
Where the fuck is it? He totally had it. Hold on. Oh! I found it. I found it.
You found it?
I found it. I'll
give me that link.
This is he DM'd me this. I think this is in response to the Axel thing where Hano found out you could dodge Axel's overhead.
Just by 2D.
And he just sent me this fucking image, and I'm like, it's annoying because like that's what I said to Hano. Every time we find a matchup that's hard, we spend a couple days like labbing out, advanced defensive options and be aware, and then we learn, oh, you just wait for a moment and you press sweep. That's how we learned how to deal with dandy step and like all this other shit. It's like, oh yeah, dude, just sweep, and I'm like, this is stupid.
I really like the energy of the the lab monster power couple between you and Hono, because it all just radiates just fighting game crackhead energy. Hey,
Yeah.
we figured this out not with anything cool. We're just going to press 2S.
Yeah, like, oh, what would you find a like really intuitive solution? No, we're gonna use the move that like completely phases our hurt box to the right. Cause like to dodge the Axel corner cross up thing, Cliff sweeps backwards off screen. Like it's not like me exaggerating when I say that. It sounds like I'm making that up. Like somebody at the playground would tell you that. Like it's like a cheat code. But like, I'll just link it. It'll make. I say it'll make more sense. It won't.
That literally sounds like old Z-axis stuff from like Smash Brothers.
That's what my friend Polar Bear said, that Cliff is a fighting game character that can dodge on all three axes. Where you can dodge on the X-axis with his sweep, he can dodge on the Y-axis with dash, and then his little sway, the dodge, is the Z-axis.
He's Melee Yoshi in Guilty Gear.
Yeah, and he's even very fragile, and he fucks you up when he hits you.
Yeah.
And the move where he sticks his foot out, like Yoshi's Nair, his 5K, will kill you in some situations.
All right, so that makes me want to ask. I've heard of you called like the platform fighter guy for some reason. Where is this from?
Oh, I used to be a Smash player.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's funny. I mentioned that View and I know each other.
Yeah.
This is a really long story. We've known each other for probably nearly 10 years.
Around like 6 or 7, more like. But yeah, it's been a while. It's been a long while.
Yeah, because we met each other on a Smash board.
Yeah, Smash boards, the Smash site for like years.
And really. And you know how we met? We met because I was talking about Super Turbo, and View was like, "I like that game," and then we just started like playing ST.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh god, that is like the deepest lore. It's like, yeah, we met talking about ST on the Smash Brothers website.
Yes, that's like the deep lore, not fake.
And that's kind of like whenever Unit Test and Nodi are bonding over playing Mahjong Soul in like fighting game discords.
I mean, to be fair, that's not like out of this world, like at all. There's like the Venn diagram overlaps quite a bit in between those two.
Really? There's no way. You're joshing, because there's got to be more overlap between traditional FGC and Smash than between FGC and Mahjong.
Probably, I would say. Like Menard, like the best birdie in Street Fighter V for the longest. It probably still is, really. I don't know, maybe not. But he was a Smash player too.
Okay.
Yeah, it's really funny.
Yeah, a lot of like the sort of like Dojin fighting games in Japan also have a lot of overlap for it with the Japanese Smash things, because like they would have to like meet, since like the Smash is a console game, they would have to meet up at each other's houses, and guess where you go play Dojin fighters at on your PC with.
Just play dumb shit.
Yeah.
And that's actually before I played Plusa, because like I always like to say this is the first like competitive fighting game I've ever actually gotten really good at.
Okay.
One of the only ones. I think at one point in time I was okay at ST. It's a long time ago, and I was like I was like a mid-low player at SF4. But Plusa Cliff is like the first character that I would actually say I've gotten to a point of like relative competence with, like to the level I have here, because like the only other character I played close to as proficient as this Cliff was like old ST footage, and like maybe at one point when I was really grinding Melty, but nothing else has come even close. So it's like really weird. I always tell Hano this. It's like really weird when people are asking me for advice, because I'm always like, oh, I'm not like the person you should ask, but then I am. So it's like it's weird, because like when you've never been like super. Because I usually hit a wall with fighting games, I like to say, where I'm just like, I don't know what to do now. I'm bored. And then I stop playing it and I turn on Mario 3 or something and like play that. Or I talk to my friend Kame and we put some time aside before he had a kid and was working on a game. we would put time aside and we would play garbage fighting games. And this is what also I was known for before Plus R was absolutely terrible fighting games. God awful.
Hit the vape too hard.
Oh yeah.
That Mugen player like weed addiction.
Oh yeah, no, you need to see. I mean, I'm digging up some clips for you of fighting games that I was playing before Plus R, even if only for a minute. You can look at this. This is one of my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
This is the most baffling jump kick in a fighting game I've ever seen. Like, without question.
Why does he hang there?
Yeah, no, I think in that, like, I think about this a lot, and I realize this might be like the only jump in ever that's programmed specifically to never be plus. Because you're stuck in the air no matter what height you do it at. And it's just like you're fixed there.
Yeah.
That's like Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, like I have sort of a similar path to my buddy right here. Like I've been playing like fighting games sort of like on and off ever since like SF4, like hopping from games like from here and there, and like this Plus R is easily the game that I have like achieved the most like competence in by far.
Yeah, there's this weird sort of power up effect that I've noticed in myself as well, where like just by going online and mashing for fun, you come out like 12 times stronger than you'd get on purpose back in the delay days.
Oh yeah, like that's a huge part of like why I am where I am right now, and probably like the whole scene in general. It's like the quality of net play is just excellent right now, especially with quick match and Plus R. You could just get games like that, quality games.
Yeah, honestly, for me, Plus R's kind of ruined the fighting game genre, because I try to go online in like Grand Blue and I realize, I have to have like the designated time of day and lobby in order to get games. If it's not 7 p.m. on Tuesday on PC lobby 4, I'm not getting games.
I feel you there. I feel you there so much.
That's how Plus R used to be.
The quality of life of the entire genre is pretty trash, and like Plus R definitely spoiled me. It definitely spoiled me.
Like even whenever Type Lumina came out, I really wanted to grind MBTL.
Oh, me too.
The shit didn't work. It was rollback, but only one of us would get rollbacks, and it would be awful.
It was just so like it just felt like the whole user experience just felt really ugly, and that's a huge part of like just wanting to grind a game. Just like if it feels natural, if it feels just quick and seamless to just get games in, have a good time, that keeps you going.
Leapfrog's mentioning the KOF 15 matchmaking, and that reminds me.
Pain. That is so much pain right there.
I'm surprised that Strive also hasn't worked out theirs yet. I was looking on Japanese Twitter, and I saw this tweet that says, like, Strive is fun, and it's the failed to connect with player message, like, 42 times across their screen.
You know, the sad thing is, like, I don't necessarily think the lobby system is an inherently bad idea. Like, I like the idea of having a more social sort of, like, fighting game experience with, like, sort of, like, a virtual lobby, like, a virtual arcade with, like, custom avatars you get dressed up. It allows you to express your humanity in a way like fighting games kind of have trouble doing, like compared to a lot of other genres. Like look at like FPS games like nowadays. Like you have like skins, titles, all this other crap you could customize, kind of like express yourself. And fighting games don't really have that, and or like very rare exceptions.
For the XRD fans in the chat, do any of you remember setting up like Discord soccer games in the lobbies and playing
I know
that?
I used to like I played quite a bit of XRD like back in the way back too. So like Guilty Gear is not completely new to me as a Plus R.
Thanks for the call. I'm gonna grab some water. I'll be right back. You two talk for one moment.
All right, yo.
All right, sick. I'm getting some clips ready.
Oh boy.
I'm getting a backlog of clips, so you can all see what I was doing before I played Plus Up.
And like
this is a big part, because you were part of that too.
Yeah. I mean, Game Center BS. Real ones remember.
All right,
Gaming. All right, so Tarkus, I'm collecting clips of pre Plus R T5 T5 and his friends footage.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like I'm just
The
trying to
origin
find
story.
Stuff. Yeah, before I was like actually grinding a fighting game.
Oh, is this Cyberbots?
This is Rise of the Robots. No, God, I
Okay,
wish it was
okay.
Cyberbots.
I mean,
That's a
they're
good
both.
game.
I mean, both robot games. So according to your grandma,
Jump
same
Kick does some good
difference.
damage.
Some of these old robot fighting games are some of the stinkiest things I've ever seen.
Yeah, no, I think Rise of the Robots, for all the money I could give for a statement like this, I think it is actually the worst competitive fighting game I've ever played. And there's a specific reason. It has nothing to do with the game balance.
Okay.
It is literally that only player 2 can pick a character.
What?
So if you hold the bracket for this game, for the Genesis version at least, in theory, the bracket is it's basically entirely predetermined by coin flips because the character player 1 has to play as is the worst character in the game.
Why?
So you can't hold a tournament for this game, but it's a fighting game. So it's like a shitty version of Red Earth, I guess, because even that game let you play like a versus mode with like 3 characters.
Couldn't World Warrior not support mirror matches?
Yeah, that's different though, because like,
that was
Guile and
the first-
Nelson was a matchup, right? Like that's a playable matchup, but like look at.
But you also gotta remember that's like basically the first fighting game as we know it. So that
Yeah.
gets for that pass.
Yeah. I'm just thinking, World Warrior a little stinky. We had that on.
is.
We had
It's a
that in our
very-
arcade, and it was so awful.
Oh, if you want stinky
Yeah.
games, I'm right here.
Mm.
I have so many stinky games. I just DM'd
So-
you another one. There's just too many.
I'm gonna pull up my Fightcade and see what stinky games I was playing recently. Because I've become a little bit of a stinky game man myself.
Oh man,
They're fun.
me and T and like a few other pals would dumpster dive like every other weekend.
Yes.
Goblin hours. Oh,
Okay,
Sometimes it was moving on Parsec. Other times it was shit on
It wa-
here.
it was sometimes it was a Weiler mirrors with some dude from Turkey.
Oh my God, I remember that.
So
The
it
deepest
turns
lore.
out I've actually got like some pretty sensible games in here for once. I've got, well, they're a little stinky, but they're like kind of tame. We've got Fist of the North Star, Karnov's Revenge, and Guilty Gear X 1.5.
Oh, that's
mean-
like the patched GGX.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it was the GGX that they tried to make similar to XX.
Yeah, I think that was like sort of like our hardware test, if I remember
Yeah?
right. Yeah. Really weird piece of like Guilty Gear history.
So there's
Oh, yeah.
a person called Mibiador. I can't remember how to spell his name because it's wacky. But he was doing a deep dive on what do you call it? X 1.5, and he was working on an entire change list between X and 1.5 to have like documentation on the forgotten Guilty Gear game. I'm seeing if I can pull this up because he's actually started writing an article on it in Dustloop, kind of like how I did for Testament. But it seems
You know what?
Discord not working.
You know what? Like that may actually be the most forgotten Guilty Gear game. I bet there's more documentation of Dust Strikers than there is of 1.5.
There is this like document he was working on. I'm spoiling a little bit of it for Mibiador if you're in here. It mentioned that their website mentions the silly little Game Boy games like Petite and Dust Striker, but it doesn't mention 1.5 on the like timeline of the franchise.
Yo, even Daisuke, this is not Daisuke's vision, clearly.
Yeah, like, ArcSys official website did not include it on the timeline, even though it had GG Petite 1 and 2 and, like, Overture, but no X.
To be fair, Overture is like one of the most important games to like GG lore, at least. It's kind of wild. It's kind
Okay.
of wild to exist. Like, I
did
committed.
go back. I did go back to my roots earlier this year when I labbed this game. I hope the author releases the next update. The funniest version of Soul Bad Guy ever.
Oh, yeah, I remember
This is that KOF bad guy.
Yeah, the one with
Well, like, what is it? Rice Stomp loops.
Yeah.
this is where RS is a better move than VV. I'm not even kidding. In this game, like his DP is like okay, But Riot Stomp is incredible. It's a mid, which you would already think, okay, but it sucks. But it goes like, it's like fucking instant. It's so fast.
He's going across the screen at like, it looks like a Sengoku Basara X combo because he's just zipping across the screen.
And
I gotta say, the assets in this game look so good. Like these look like almost.
Oh, they cared a lot. They cared a hell of a lot. It's just, oh my god, Soul.
I mean, it's
so
fun.
Weird.
I mean, as a Soul bad guy enthusiast, this pleases my heart. Soul
But
bad
the fact
guy.
that they accidentally gave him cool combos, because like, what the hell? I'm thinking. Give me a minute.
I mean,
Right.
He's overheating.
He has a special air dash, right? And like, you couldn't attack out of it. So I was like, this is garbage. And then I learned that like it counts as a special move. So when you're in max mode, you can like cancel out of your DP into the air dash, and you can do like DP air dash loops.
Oh my goodness.
It was actually really sick, and I'm like, wow, this is like, it's funny. It's not related to ACPR, but it is related to like, my background.
Yeah. My friends have been wanting to get into Mugen a little bit, and so I've spent time going through existing Mugen characters for like gear, and like fixing up their hitboxes to be more accurate to the real games. I think the biggest one I undertook was there was a Testament Missing Link port to Mugen, but nobody fucking knew anything about Missing Link back then, and so it was like basically somebody's headcanon of what the game probably was like, and it was fascinating to sort of get that time capsule of what 2002 fighting game people thought of Missing Link.
Right.
They were
really fascinating.
They were really wrong on how good the hitboxes would be for Testament. They're like, oh yeah, the whole weapon should be disjointed. And I'm thinking, this was made by some Sam Show players.
Not even. Oh, Sam Show actually has. Oh, you're gonna make me post the Resetsumaru 5C, aren't you? Have you seen that before?
I don't think I know that. No.
Okay, well, I'm going on to Mizumi right now. And it's enshrined. It's one of the only hitboxes they've posted for Resetsumaru, which, of course. When you have that, what else do you need? All right, Tarkus.
Where is this?
Here you go. And astoundingly, this is still a really good anti-air, but
Let's add that to the screen. Oh my god. That's funny.
Yeah.
That looks like a shit post.
Yes, this is one of my favorite kit boxes in fighting games.
I
love this.
You could say it's disjointed, right?
It is. For the first hit, it is technically a little. Because like, most of the time in Sam Show, the weapon has like a really big hurt box. In fact, like, there's some really comedic ones. Let me see. Genjiro, they have all of his. Good. Like Genjiro's 2B is considered a really, really upper echelon poke, and you can see that like.
Oh yeah, that's not disjointed at all.
You would think, right? But Sam Show's weird, and sometimes there are disjoints. It's really weird. I think the game with like insane weapon hitboxes, to my memory. Oh, give me a minute.
So if we're talking about funny hitboxes, my favorite in like anything has to be Missing Link May's 2S. If you already know the answer, try to refrain from spoiling it. But you know how May like pokes her anchor forward in her 2S animation, like a little boop?
Yeah.
If you had to guess what part of that animation is like active and gonna hit you, what part of that animation would you think it is?
Probably the one in the screenshot, right?
Yeah, like the sort of end of the anchor, the little like moon part.
Yeah,
like, that's where it should be active.
So that's what I would think to myself. Like I would think it would become active on this frame of animation, and it would be somewhere around the anchor head. But the text kind of spoils it. This is when the move is active, and it's all of May's hurt boxes switching to be a hitbox. So the best guess I've got is that there was some underpaid intern in charge of setting the hitboxes, and there's a single bit that is like 0 for hurtbox, 1 for hitbox, and they after their 5th cup of coffee working on her Daisuke's desk, they probably just hit the wrong button and shipped it. But that can't quite be it, because Missing Link got rejected by Sony for quality control 7 times. So this made it past 7 reviews and like attempted ROMs to get into the game, and then the re-release.
I think they just gave up. It's just like, oh, dude, just let this weird Daisuke fellow release his weird like metal power fantasy.
Because I was thinking at work today, Plusar 1.1 or 1.01/1.0 Cliff Jump S might be the best like jump normal ever in a fighting game I've ever played. Because like you've seen the image of his old Jump S, right?
Yeah.
You know.
Oh yeah, I remember your tweet. Yeah, I sent that to Kevin. I'll pull that up real quick. Here it was.
Oh, Balloon. Okay, well, Balloon.
Balloon's a special first off.
Balloon can be anti. Well, this could too technically. This is insane though, because Cliff Jump S in current Plus R is already a good normal. So it's like, oh man.
I showed this to Kevin, and he responded with, "Take that, old man."
I think, yeah, my favorite part is that you can tell too that they were using AC Cliff as a base, because like Plus R 1.0 Cliff has the AC air dash and everything. But he's also got like that jump S, right, being disjointed.
Yeah.
If you look at his AC jump S, hold on, let me get it. Because I actually went and showed Hano all of the AC hitboxes, because it's funny. Let me try and pull it up, because I don't think his AC hitbox is on the Dusted Wiki.
Oh yeah, it's not. We didn't do hitboxes back then.
For what it's worth, like the AC part of the wiki is still pretty good, especially considering like the era. A lot of that stuff was probably filled out in. It's a solid wiki.
Oh yeah, Gear players have been like notoriously good at sharing knowledge, excluding that one bit back in the XR era where like the Californians would hoard knowledge to themselves.
Oh yeah, classic, West Coast bullshit, I guess.
Yeah. Oh man, those are funny times. The XR era in general is a very funny one for history. What's it? There was this guy who would hop on NetPlay and just like shit post into chat, and people don't know if it was not World Block Tree. There was another one. So he's like, my name isn't a. What he was saying was that. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Because I know there's World Block Tree, there's Javier Reyes.
That's it. It's Javier. Yeah.
Yeah. There's also another NetPlay legend, Evil Fox.
That's
Shadow Fox has been nothing but like a great person. From what I hear. But yeah, Evil Fox. Evil Fox and Shadow Fox sound like a Sonic OCs, but that's a whole nother story.
Javier would like say in chat something like, "This isn't a name; it's a conglomerate. Each person's name is a letter, and I am one of them." But his name would like not be a letter in that word.
Oh god, that's like some really bad shonen shit.
Yeah,
like, he probably ripped off of like some sick shonen. It's like, yo.
Okay, I think I almost have it. Yeah, so like, look at the AC jump S, right?
Okay.
If you compare to the other one, you'll notice that it's like literally the same, except it's missing the top part.
Yeah.
Like, so my speculation is that they just added like that top part to AC Jump S.
Oh yeah, they just slapped another box on the top.
Fucking sure. Now we can hit high with it and do cool B&Bs. And then like they're like, wait,
we've made a monster.
Test, and it's god. And so they're like, we should maybe give it a hurt box, because his Jump H and AC actually looks nearly identical.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a lot of things about AC Cliff that are actually pretty similar hitbox wise, which is funny. Except for like funny things like Far S, which is an anti-air in AC.
Oh my god, that's a testament button right there.
Yeah, I mean, or have you seen AC Cliff 6P? That's my favorite.
No,
he did not have this in any version of Plus R. AC Cliff 6P is insane.
Dear Lord.
And it's like twice as fast.
That's a war crime. People say that like Testament's 2H is cheating. I would complain if I got hit with that.
This is funny because it's just like ABBA Slide with a hitbox. It's literally what it is. You just do this, and it's like, yep. What else did AC? Oh, he had the frame 1 air drill.
Wait, what? I didn't know
Yeah,
about frame 1 air drill.
AC Cliff, yeah, J214S was frame 1. I don't know if they'll
Oh.
have that on the wiki, on the AC wiki.
Let's see. DLGGAC/Cliff. What?
Bless you.
Yo, bless.
I'm hella curious. I don't even think they have the frames.
Oh no.
Because he's never legal. They tried. I hear at one point they tried.
Yeah, there's no data for Cliff, unfortunately.
And quite obvious reasons they stopped trying.
Yeah, he was a little bit of a menace.
Because they tried in Reload too. Because I remember Naj linked me a Reload matchup chart. He was like, oh yeah, look at Bridget's matchups. I'm like, wait, is that Cliff at the top? And he's like, oh yeah, they tried him legal. And it was like, so like, usually the highest a matchup got was like 10-0. But all of Cliff's slots in that matchup chart were 20. And so I just kind of assumed
that's a little bit of that is probably a little bit of that classic Guilty Gear player belly aching. Because, like, there are some fucked up Ksoge where they're like, oh, yeah, this is like an 8-2 whenever one character gets a touch of death off of every single hit and the other has, like, a poke.
Yeah.
Gear players are unique in our ability to complain about every character, including our own, for some reason.
Yes.
That's the meme right there.
The mirror match is really illuminating.
Yeah.
It's a pride crusher too, because if you get hit by something on your own character that you don't know how to do, it hurts your pride a little bit.
Oh, it does. It does. Like, what feels worse when it's like, I think like for me the example I go to, it's like whenever I play Tales of Jade, I feel like he's playing like at like 5 times the speed I'm playing at, which is great. Which is wild because people say, "Oh, I play pretty fast," and it's just like, no, this dude is like on a 15 on a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of just like a speed and game sense.
Oh, okay. Lofo's saying they just gave Cliff 20 across the board.
Oh, okay. I would
assume that wouldn't be entirely wrong. Maybe not. It might not be that extreme. But I guess they just assumed he was probably too fucked up in Reload too, though. I remember Lofo telling me Reload Cliff was super fucked. And I would believe that. He didn't even have air drill, which is really funny. He's missing like a lot of moves that are like he didn't start having really fun combos until I would say AC.
Okay.
Like, because I have played Reload Cliff. He's funny, but like a lot of it is just the buttons are really nasty, and like he has the dodge and all this other stuff. He'll stun you really fast still.
Yeah, like I mean, going back to Reload is interesting because like at the time these felt like really complete characters. But going from Plus R to back to Reload, like they feel a little like bare bones in comparison.
Yeah, Far S Super 6P, Close S 6P is instant. Yeah, like Reload Cliff, he did even more stun than AC Cliff. But they gave AC Cliff all the fun stuff, like the force break with the wall stick, so you can make some really stupid. His combos aren't as interesting as Plus R Cliff's, I would say. But they're like the prototype to the level of absurdity. They're dumber looking, believe it or not. Like an AC Cliff combo looks way dumber than a Plus R Cliff combo. Have you seen AC Cliff combo, Starkis?
I think I've seen one combo video for it, but I haven't really looked at like it in any sort of like context where I can understand what's practical. You guys are familiar with AC Venom combo videos, right?
Oh yeah, I've seen a few of those.
Everybody knows Third Eye. Third Eye is like the easy, acceptable one. But I'd like to turn your attention to Roman, which was the other big AC video. Combo video for Venom, and they're like sister CMVs. Oh, that's loud. Third Eye was like all the really funny, flashy stuff, and Roman's all practical as hell, and Venom was murdering people. So I think that AC is just a little bit of a fucked up game. It's funny, but it's fucked up.
Yeah, AC is like legitimate. Like I always say, it's not a good Guilty Gear game, but it's
an important Guilty Gear game.
Yeah, it had to exist, but it's like they did a lot of things like
this is where like a lot of a lot of characters start to like function. I mean, Angie cannot combo into like Fusion until AC. Think about that.
but there are some big mistakes in AC. Like there is
yeah.
no proration where it matters.
Yeah, and like it's on top of that, the health total is lower, and so they gave all these characters all these tools that gave them access to more damage consistently, and didn't adjust the health.
Yeah. What was it? Faust had like no proration on anything that wasn't 2K, and so he would just blow you up off of 5K for some bizarre reason.
I mean, we all know the meme FP drill, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, that move was plus 28.
I mean,
if you didn't meet it.
I mean, AC Slayer in general,
AC Testament. I'm not avoiding that.
Yeah.
I like how the Plus R Discord has a GIF of an entire Mikado set in AC.
The legend.
It's Eddie, right?
It's a Hase versus some Testament player.
Yeah, the Slayer on Hase.
Yeah, and Hase was putting on a little party.
Yeah.
AC is like really funny, but Plus R it's wild because like I feel like, and I love Plus R to death, but I don't think it happened on purpose. I don't think they were like. I think they made the changes with the intent of improving the game, but I don't think they thought it would be as improved as it ended up being.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is definitely a case of like a happy accident.
Yeah. I wonder if like Plus R never happened and we still had AC and AC got the rollback. I wonder if it would have taken off. I will think about that.
I think it probably would have. It's not like AC wasn't a popular game. People
it
liked
was.
it. But I think whenever Plus R got rollback, people were just hurting for a sort of a mainstream Guilty Gear with playable netcode.
Yeah, people were like also hurting for like an alternative to Strive, like in case they didn't like it. Because remember, that was the time where like Strive, like Discord was like really hot.
Yeah, because it was announced but not out yet, for those who forget. And it kind of blew up. What's what I'm looking for here? Pretty much everybody was sort of content fiending on it. And then we saw a bunch of other games come out and get rollback and not get the same attention. So it wasn't a case purely of just like one or the other. It stuck.
Guilty Gear had like, out of like, it may not be like, the big household name that Street Fighter Tekken is, but it has a bit of a legacy now in like the greater FGC. Like, I think a lot of that has to do with Exert. Like, Exert actually blew up quite a decent amount. It got a close to 1K entrance at some Evos. If people tend to forget that, but yeah.
Yeah, I think AC is like predominantly more popular in Japan. I do know that they are quite fond of AC.
Yeah, I mean, AC was like the launch of so many careers. Like, I mean, Kazunoko started in AC.
Oh yeah, wasn't he a Haas player?
Yeah, he was the Haas player. He was like the gold standard.
I think whenever this game first got rollback, he was playing AC Haas for a bit, and then
I mean, he's sponsored now. I mean, he got
chase that bag.
Yeah, he really got chased that bag, especially nowadays with like we live in the era of COVID. Like you can't just be like just a tournament player. You have to just make content.
Leapfrog, you might enjoy AC until you fight Eddie. Like, that's really the only problem.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this. I don't expect your average Potemkin fan to prefer AC Pot over Plus R Pot.
Oh, yeah.
The character's kind of lame.
Yeah.
He's really strong.
He's strong in, like, the worst possible way.
Yeah, it's kind of like AC Testament, where I have a friend who they were the one that, like, I first played Plus R with.
Mm-hmm.
And their specific words was like, if I had to play AC Testament, I would find a different character because it's just mind numbing. Because it's literally just H Beast.
And you get like 8 reps of Badlands loops off of like a 3H at round start.
Yeah. I mean, what do you call it? The other like AC character, Slayer. Like Slayer, like and Plus R has a lot going on with FV Dandy and all that stuff. And like that's generally like a good like change from like vanilla AC to Plus R. Like a lot of Slayer players prefer the Plus R Slayer, even though like AC Slayer is super fucked up.
I got my button wrong. It wasn't 3H. I forgot Testament didn't have 3H then.
Yeah, like
But like the general idea, even if I can't remember my silly buttons, is kind of the statement.
Yeah, no,
I
it
think
was still like 8
Quash
Badlands,
was-
and the fucking hit stop. Oh my
Mhm.
god, it lasted forever. So
Mm.
like Badlands would take 2 years to finish. So the Testament could see the Badlands hit, go, I wish to do 8 loops, and then they would do 8 loops.
Mhm. I think Quash said that he used to hear people across the convention center and be like, he's getting Badlands looped.
oh, Quash would know that.
And like, but like, there are some characters in AC though that were actually more interesting or more fun to some people. Like Venom, I hear AC Venom is really sick.
Yeah.
There's 2 camps on AC versus Plus R Venom. Some say that they don't like AC Venom because he does damage that isn't fitting for Venom. He like shits out damage without it, and people think that Venom should be a low damage set play character. And then you've got the people that want to go like, God damn, Roman's cool.
Well, right, because I mean, I feel like with the health increase.
Yeah, like maybe like that higher damage Venom would be okay in like the current like plus R environment.
Oh yeah, he wasn't even OP back then, so like he wouldn't be taken off of like Testament and Dizzy in this game.
Yeah, I mean like he was punished for NO crimes.
Yeah,
as simple as that. Like that's like common practice among Arc Systems games.
I think Unit Test told me that NO switched to BB purely because he hated Plus R Venom so much.
I get that's the story I hear too, and he became one of like the best racials in BB for a while too. NO was a problem.
Yeah, I've only booted up AC a couple times, but whenever I'd mess around with it, I think I have the power of God in my hands. No more doing 80 damage off of a B&B against ABBA.
I mean, I just get sad whenever I play like Haas or like Soul in AC because like they just have like they're just like so like they're missing a lot of like the stuff that gives them like flavor and utility in those games.
Remember AC Robo?
AC Robo, like that was also
that was
like
a sick character. That was a character where his command, if AC Robo command grabbed you and you had a full bar, I think it did more than Potbuster.
Really?
Yes. You should boot it up. It would take like 2 seconds.
I mean, unironically, he may have needed it. I mean, he's working in the game with like AC Eddie and AC Test.
Yeah, no, I think it was necessary, but it was. You should boot it up and wait.
Yeah, AC's a funny game, but speaking of funny games, I know you were playing Mario 64. Have either of you looked into Mario the Origami King?
Oh, Paper Mario.
Oh, the new one? Oh, I played that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, me too. Yeah.
Cool I got into that recently, and it's so good because it reminds me of TTYD when I was a kid.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Oh, TTYD. I replayed that last year, and like I got emotional in that game quite a bit. That
game is legendary. There's a game that was like a spiritual predecessor that I think it's called Super Mario RPG. I've been real curious to try that out and see where it started.
Oh, you'll love it.
It's a classic. It's a classic.
One thing I will say, it is really odd because it came at a time where I'm a Mario nerd, so you can just throw anything at me like that. Okay. It came at a time where like they didn't really have Mario side characters. Like it was a very, very undeveloped part, right? It was back when Mario was kind of new-ish, but not like super new. Yeah. And so when Square, because this was back before it was even Square Enix, it was Squaresoft. When Squaresoft was working on it, they had to create a bunch of original characters to fill out what the Mario cast couldn't at the time. Okay. So you get this like really weird like let me just get a random enemy. You get this really weird combination of like Mario enemies, and then like you run into this. Hold on, I'll just DM it to you. Run to this thing. Like stuff like this, where it's
that's
all
actually
like,
kind of sick, though. That's really cool.
Yeah. So you get like like this cross between Mario and Final Fantasy in terms of like art style. It's really strange, and a lot of these characters never showed up again.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a very culturally important game for like Mario because that's what like Mario can get weird now. Really?
Oh yeah, I mean that in Mario Land 2.
Yeah.
The OST is phenomenal. I've heard it out of context. It's just so good.
It's one of the greatest on the Super Nintendo easily.
Oh yeah.
fight against an armed boss is like, it's a song so good it's transcended the game and become like extra popular.
Yep. Like every song in Mario RPG, it might be the best Mario soundtrack. It's insane, honestly.
I mean, it's got, the classic Mario, like, what you call motifs, but, in JRPG format. I mean, that's a hard combo to beat, honestly.
It is, yeah, it is literally... I don't think there'll ever be another one like it, because every other Mario RPG game that came out after this, because it inspired so many, is just like, it's more rooted in... Because those came out at a time where Mario had more at that point, but this game was interesting.
I will say, I do absolutely adore TTYD and Origami King, because they find a way to make something that feels just as sort of fun and engaging as an adult as I did when I was a child.
Oh yeah, no, TTYD in general just feels timeless to me. Like that's a game that will, like, you could go back to it and like it just feels so fresh. I mean, there's a very specific conversation in one of the chapters between two crows, and they're talking about like energy conversation or something like that. It's so weird. It's just like, I did not get that as a kid, but now as an adult, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, one of them's like,
shit.
My son's like going for his SATs, and I don't know how he's gonna do. And I'm like, when I was a kid, I didn't know what the fuck that was. And then later, I play the game again, and I see that conversation, and I'm like, why is this here?
Yeah, but like
why
even
are they talking
beyond,
about like renewables? Like,
renewables, yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it's just like, what do I say? Like the thing that's really special about it though is like, whenever you see humor for like a cartoon, it's often kind of like grown worthy when you see it as an adult 20 years later. But somehow, even like the silly moments of Paper Mario Thousand Year Door just strike me as like charming. And that's not even like nostalgia, because like I forgot about the game for ages. As a kid, I never finished it, and then I came back and I'm like, this is kind of awesome.
Yeah, it's funny, like, the things they did with Mario characters in that game, like, those guys from Mario Sunshine, those tropical people, like, they're like...
Yeah, the
Turn them into mobsters.
They're funny, dumb, like, big idiots that throw you around and go, I'm a chuckster, and it's like, yeah, no, they fucking ice people in this game.
Yeah.
They're mobsters, they will shake you down and kill you.
I mean, they have the gallows in like the main cultural hub of that game. I mean,
as a kid, I didn't know what that was, and then I replay as an adult, and I'm like, that's kind of dark, Nintendo.
Yeah, it's a little weird.
It's just one of those games that like they'll never make a game like that ever again.
No, I think after Super Paper Mario was the only one that won up to it. In terms of like how insane that one got.
Yeah, like I have some issues with that game, but I also hold that game pretty dearly.
Yeah,
too.
no, it's interesting, and it was like, I'm pretty sure it literally started a trend where they were like, okay, that's enough.
Yeah, that and like the ending to Mario Galaxy 1.
Yeah, they were like, all right, we've gone as far as we want to go, and they've kind of traced it back a little bit. Although I will say with Origami King, they did a good job at tapping into that.
Yeah, Origami King and Ozzy sort of like kind of like realigned Mario with like weirdness again in a way that I absolutely vibe with.
Yeah, so we're getting a little bit late on time. I wanted to see if we can start easing towards some more plus R topics before we ran out of time. So I know, Beautiful, you mentioned that this was like your first big tournament other than Boston Blue Beat since the pandemic started. I wanted to ask, how did the pandemic affect your interests in fighting games when you were locked down and couldn't go to locals?
It really shot it because a lot of the games I played were delay based. I think the big game I was playing before that was Dragon Ball, and like, oh, man, that like a game like that game is like built around like human reactions. Like a lot of that game is built around like sort of that board between reactable and unreactable, and with online like that, it's completely thrown out of the water, and I couldn't do it anymore. I was seriously considering, should I even be playing this genre right now? Because I work full time, and like I want maybe play other games, do other stuff. And it's like, are fighting games worth it in the age of COVID? That was like a big question I had on my mind.
Did you
And
ever
like,
consider becoming a Valorant or League of Legends player?
oh, I can't do that. Like just playing, I can't vibe with first person games. At least like competitive ones. Like if you I could play like a Fallout New Vegas just fine because that's like a single player game. You could play like at your own pace. But
Yeah.
a fast paced competitive first person games, no can do, no can do. Plus, I was on like a crappy like old gaming laptop back then too, so I can't even do that if I wanted to. But plus our like rollback. I mean, I always loved Guilty Gear, even when I was like sort of like a preteen. Like I
Mm.
played a ton of Reload on a friend's PSP. Me and my friend,
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
the Cliff Player special. Hono will be labbing on his PSP while taking a dump.
yeah,
Did
no,
I?
but like
Oh, I'll get there.
I was super casual too. Like I
Mhm.
saw Soul Bad Guy for the first time and I thought this is the coolest character of all time. And part of me still like believes that inner like 12, 13-year-old, he was spitting right there. He
Is
was
he cooler
spitting.
than what was it, Kiryu from
Kiryu is probably like he's definitely top three material. Kiryu from Yakuza.
mm,
Um, as like people who follow me on Twitter know I'm a huge Yakuza stan, so.
mm. I'm actually playing my first one right now.
Oh, which
Like a
one?
Dragon.
Oh, like a Dra Oh my God, that game really like I played through that earlier this year. And oh my
Mhm.
God, like that game like not only is a great game, but it emotionally resonated with me in a huge, huge way.
I kind of
Especially
got a emotional whiplash from the first two
oh
chapters.
oh no, that game is like so poignant, especially for like I think our generation.
Mhm.
Like I think like Ichiban Kasuga is like the perfect hero for like our generation of like adults.
Nerds. We've got a bunch of nerds right now.
We got a bunch of oh yeah.
T5, have you ever played Yakuza?
Actually, no. I know.
Oh,
I know.
I'm gonna
Boo.
recommend it.
Okay, but listen, the last time I did this with a game, I played Metroid Prime and I hated it. So I'm like paranoid.
Okay, okay,
Okay, that's a
Yakuza
valid
like a
concern.
yeah, Yakuza okay like Zero is always a good start to like the
Mhm.
I,
Yakuza
I
because
I feel like though I've seen enough of it to know that I would probably like it.
yeah, like
Mhm.
Zero or Like a Dragon because Like a Dragon is literally like a love letter to
Mm.
JRPGs at the same time too.
The main character says that the reason why the battles in the game are turn-based is because he sees the world as a Dragon Quest game.
Yeah, like that's unironically a huge part of his character. He is
He
like
That's epic,
so
dude.
a 4-year-old chuny like Dragon Quest fanboy.
Yeah,
That's
he got out of homelessness, and the first thing he said to his friend was, "I feel like I was a hero farming slimes."
Yes.
That game is so like I get emotional thinking about that game. There are some there like the story in that game is so
Mm.
good. I can't spoil it though, of
But
course.
yeah,
Appreciate
on the
it.
topic of like COVID stuff,
Hmm.
I can answer that question too because I feel like it's relevant. Because I floated around between a bunch of games too.
Hmm.
Like I was like, oh, Street Fighter, oh, Under Night. It was all delay based, or it was SF5 shitty rollback,
Hmm.
Oh God. Oh.
or Fight Cage shit that I never got good at.
Hmm.
And so I was like, well, this sucks. I don't really have a fighting game to grind. The closest thing was Melty Blood, and I would play that every 2 months and somehow still hit combos. I don't know.
Hmm.
And so then Plus Star came out, and in 2020, I was like, yeah, this game's cool. I played it. I fucked around with Cliff and Robokai, decided on Robokai, played him for a bit, was like, wow, this game sucks. Tried Soul. Oh, this is awful. Quit. And then I came back playing Cliff because my friends are like, dude, just play Cliff. Like,
Hmm.
just play it. And so I came back and I was like, I'm going to come in with a really fresh mindset in 2021 about like really trying to get better at the game in a way that doesn't demand so much of myself. And well,
Okay.
here we are now. But like, yeah, my start in fighting games like that was crazy. It was just like a first fighting game I played. I was like 4 or 5,
Hmm.
and it was Street Fighter 2 on a Super Nintendo.
Okay.
And I could never do special moves, and I learned how to do them. It was so sick. I was like 6 or 7, and I figured out you could do combinations on the D-pad. You can make them do the DP,
Hmm.
and I was so proud I could get through arcade mode. And then it just kind of kept going from there.
Hmm. So you guys actually have a lot of background. You see, I started in the Xrd era,
Hmm.
and I've kind of come to hate a lot of the games I got started with, but they were games I played because other people were playing them, like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Oh,
That's how I feel like very much with SF4 because that's the first game I tried to get competent with it. That's a very important game to like both the scene and myself. I cannot stand that game these days at all.
So it's funny that we all came to Plus R from different games that we now don't play anymore.
right.
Yeah.
And on the note of like Hano, I learned later too that like, cause I've done Mugen for a long time too, because that's adjacent to fighting games. That was like, I've been deving for Mugen longer than I've been playing fighting games to actually get better at them
Yeah.
and like doing work with it, either whether it be casual or not. And it was really funny hearing that a guy that I knew in like from Mugen, like literally, who I had known for like years and years and years, was the guy that introduced Hano to Guilty Gear.
Really?
Yes.
That's cool.
Yara 1030.
Okay.
I can't tell you his real name, but his name is Yara. His screen name is Yara 1030. And I was telling
Let's
Hano,
get the last four of his social real quick.
Yeah, but I said that I don't really know, but I talked to him, or I played with him online because I was playing with Hano on ranked one day, right? Or like not on ranked, but in quick match. And I was like, oh, I got a challenge from an old friend, and I was like, oh, who is it? And I was like, oh, it's Yara 1030, and he's like, oh, you mean? And then he said his name, and I'm like, wait, you know him? And he was like, oh yeah, that's the guy that like brought Plus R to my college for the first time. He was like my training partner, like my first one, and I'm like, oh,
that's cool.
Oh my god.
It's
Then it kind of all clicked in my head because like the people I hung out with Mugen stuff, it really hit me like, oh my god, Guilty Gear is like this ancient game like that.
Yeah.
It's like so many of these people played Guilty Gear like that, and I remember in those old circles when BlazBlue came out, a lot of them hated it, and I'm like, oh my god, this paints so much content.
What's the old saying goes? That's a small world after all, I suppose.
Yeah.
It is, but it was wild because I'm like, wow, that's crazy.
Talking about small world, I went to go to a restaurant with my girlfriend for date night, and we got recognized by an XRD player. They're like, Tarkus! At the restaurant. And I was thinking, the FGC has become my life now.
It's fucked up.
It really does. Like at the moment, like you get some sort of notoriety, like it just becomes sort of like this like little world that you're a part of.
There's like a whole inner circle of like 20 to 40-year-old like shit posters that'll recognize each other over silly little things. Like, oh, you're the funny Bombo guy with Cliff.
Some people, I got recognized. It's like you're that one like cosplayer that like fishes with like 5H and gets them somehow.
Oh man. So I think the big question I want to ask, since I know we've got one of you competing in Boston Blue Beat and another one commentating, is what are your goals for 2022 with ACPR and fighting games in general? Let's have Beautiful go first, because I think T5's got a lot to say.
I mean, like I just like compete more honestly. I mean, I don't really like again like that WASD tournament was like the first one I entered in a year plus. I really want to enter Boston Blue Beat tomorrow. I should go register for that actually like soon. But yeah, like I want like maybe compete like just a little more, maybe once or twice a month, not to just stress myself out and just see how far I could go. I mean, like I'm at at a certain point where like where like my time is limited and I want to do other stuff. So I don't know how much I could really hardcore grind to be like number one, but I just want to push myself with what I have.
Yeah. And what about you, T5?
All right, my goal is to maybe try and enter more stuff as I can. Obviously because people want me to, but I also just want to keep improving and building up the community because I found that that's, to me, more than even just getting better, but working with the community to help with events, organizing, whether it is, oh, I need you to play in a tournament, or I need you to play at an exhibition, or I need you to help me gather people, like I'm doing with Battlefield of the Gods right now, where I'm helping Lofo organize.
Oh, I
or
love
when I'm doing
that
commentary,
series.
or I'm doing commentary for tournaments. My goal is to just build up the community because I, in my time playing the game, I love the game. Don't get me wrong, but like the cornerstone of my enjoyment of the game has been the people I've interacted with. by and large, I would say, like, if it wasn't for that, I don't think I'd be enjoying the game the way I am.
Oh, for sure. I'm
So
on
my
similar
goal
boat
is
too.
100% to just keep building it up, right?
Yeah, like I owe the community a lot too for both resources to just excellent players that got the chance to like people know I would not have gotten that top eight without players like Cyan Plaza, Phoebe, Icebound Witch. I played with those players with a lot, and they helped forge me into like that placement right there. So
I
I
hope
can't give them enough props for that.
I hope you're ready because we're gonna say like 4 years from now, assuming that like the planet hasn't blown up in a ball of fire, you two are gonna be like you're gonna become the new Quash and Hono of the gear scene. They're
Oh
they're
my
gonna say,
God.
"Oh, my bones are too creaky," and you'll have to be
Oh,
the one showing people 6H loops.
Oh yes,
oh my God.
because I'm just like, yeah, so much of like my enjoyment of the game is like directly parallel to that.
Mhm.
And like getting better at it has been immensely fun, but being
Mhm.
able to interact with the community more has been even more fun. And I hope to
Mhm.
keep that energy, right?
Yeah.
Just make sure
You
to
know
keep
that
things
you,
tame in that main chord. It gets a little spicy.
yeah.
Yo, yeah.
Yeah. Fun fact, Plus R originally came out in 2012. We're
Yep.
approaching 10 years of Plus R. I,
I think the anniversary for the first game was last month, which is pretty cool.
yeah. I kind of want okay, so the end of last year I made sort of like a fun montage of like funny clips, and I kind of want to do that for like the 10th anniversary of Plus R.
That would be
I
a
don't
fun
know.
one.
Yeah, like I kind of want to make it a community thing though. So like this is just like a sort of like a teaser, like sort of brainstorming idea I have, but like
Yeah.
I'll
Oh,
try to keep
well,
people posted on that. But
you know a guy
yeah,
who
I
might be
will.
able to give you a few funny things, just a
Oh
couple.
yeah. I want to get. I want to make it big though. I want to get as much people in
Oh
on this
yeah.
as possible. Well,
Oh
because
right.
10 years of plus R. That's so much plus
Right.
R.
One more goal too. I lied. There's one more thing. Finish Cliff's Dust Loop page.
Oh
Oh
I
yeah.
yeah.
have to do that. I'm gonna start on that at some point. I'm gonna start going through his normals.
That's a
Um.
rough treadmill because there's always some new crazy thing you figure out. You
Yeah.
feel that
Oh
you need to
yeah.
maintain it.
And I mean, I do got to give shout outs to the homie DQRF,
Mhm.
the original and the current, like even past the introduction that I modified and the pros and cons and whatever. The original, the current, whatever that page is right now, a lot of it is still DQRF. He did a really good job with it.
Oh
I
yeah.
think it's all still really accurate to how you would use those moves for the most part as Cliff.
Mhm.
The only things it's missing is stuff we found lately. And like that's for 2019, you couldn't ask for anything better because that still gives anybody picking the character up enough to work with. But I want to
And
make it more comprehensive.
I think that's actually a really good note. DQRF's had it rough pretty bad lately. I don't want to like divulge the details of his personal life, but if you ever have like a spare moment to like send positive vibes or thoughts to a homie, DQRF could use some. It's, every now and then we
All
get rough, but he's doing it.
yeah. Yeah, all my love to the homie DQRF. Like the community wouldn't be at without
You can
people like
send him
him.
this. He's always busy on Discord, so never want to DM him and ping him if it's not like a really good reason.
Mm-hmm.
But you can send him this clip and tell him that I appreciate the work he's done and that I hope that my updates to the wiki page
Yeah, like
are found. Like I don't plan on deleting a lot of what he wrote.
Mm-hmm.
I'm mostly gonna add to it
All right.
because I,
And
I I feel it's really important to emphasize that this is all built up knowledge,
Mhm.
not necessarily new.
hmm
So, since we're coming up at our last minute here, I wanted to say, before we sign off, do you have any beef, fake or otherwise, homegrown or artificial, for matches coming up? We've seen a lot of like grudge matches of 1st to 10. Who do you want to take down?
Ooh, that's really hard. I can't answer because if I did, I would spoil something.
And
But you'll see it when it happens.
what about you, MF Beautiful?
Please don't say me.
Did we lose him? Oh, I think we lost him.
Oh
he's
wait,
back.
I'm right here. Can you repeat the question? I was intending to something real quick.
Oh, I was saying for our final closing note, And do you have anybody who you've got fake or real beef with that you want to take down in an exhibition in the future? Lofo's in chat. They might put you on Battlefield of the Gods against them.
Oh, true.
Oh man,
You
I
have to
can't.
find an opponent. Think of somebody that
Oh
really
man.
bristles your cornflakes.
No,
Whip out the beef, even if you got to make it up.
like, man.
You got to get X Phantom, see who's the real king of the Haas.
Oh, like yo, X Phantom would wash me. I would love to play against him. He would wash me, but I would love to have like that honor of facing him. I would love to. Oh man, there's a quite a few. Oh man, Newt. If Newt is ever around again, I would love to play him.
Oh yeah,
Newt,
that would be a really competitive set, I think. Actually.
Oh, Newt, I miss Newt so much. He used to be like the other Fast I would play a ton with, along with Cyan. So like, if Newt ever comes back, let's play, dog.
Yeah, that would be the one. I think that would be a damn good set.
Yeah.
And with that, I want to thank you guys for coming, and I want to thank everybody who took the time to listen to us chit-chat and bounce around topics. So let's go ahead and have you plug yourselves before we sign off.
All right, you can find me at twitch.tv/TTTTTsd, no underscore. I'm right here, and this makes it easy, because last time I did this on WASD Gaming, I posted my Twitch link in the Twitch chat, which made no sense, because you just click my name. And my Twitter, which would be the same thing, but it's different because somebody has this fucking @. Can you believe it? And it's a locked account, so I can't even go, hey, are you using this right now? Can I have it?
Well, I wonder who is that our Shadow T5 there?
The evil one? I don't know. They're Japanese. That's all I know.
Maybe they're even better.
Maybe it's gone. Let me see. I haven't looked in a while.
And what about you, beautiful?
Oh well, you can find me.
No, it's still there. Fuck.
All right. Well, you can find me on the twitter.com at mfbeautiful, no space between the F and the V right there. Let me just put the link in the chat. And well, I haven't streamed in a long ass time, but I may stream again sometime. Just some casual like shit to vibe. Yeah. It's fun sometimes.
All right. I appreciate you guys, and thank you everybody. Have a good night. I'll catch you again some other time.
Yeah, of course.